Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Bellator light heavyweight Chris Davis. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Chris, one thing I wanted to ask you before we got going was, how did you get your nickname, The Professional?
The Professional? It's kind of funny, actually. There's this movie called The Professional. It's about this sniper who he has this little girl's family gets killed. He takes the girl in and raises her up how to be an assassin. Anyway, the dude's a total bad dude in the movie. And a guy at my gym, back when I trained in Alabama, he heard that I was in the Marine Corps, and I was attached to some pretty high-level units and stuff, and and also I was a pro fighter, and so we were standing around the gym one day, and he goes, "So you're like a legit bad dude, like you could kill me right now. You're like The Professional." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he tells me about the movie, and then I go watch it, and it just kind of stuck. Everybody started calling me The Professional, so I kind of like it. I don't mind it.
Yeah, the reason I asked is because I thought that there might have been a good story like there was, because, you know, maybe it was something like, maybe you weren't going that hard in training and you were acting, you know, weird, and they called you The Professional because you need to act professional, something like that. Like, I thought it was going to be a funny story like that, something like that. That's why I asked.
Yeah. Well, I credit a couple of people at my old gym, though. They just kind of made it stick. So, but that's where it came from, that movie, The Professional. If you haven't seen the movie, by the way, you should go watch it. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. I have not seen that. Chris, you got a fight coming up, Bellator 71 this Friday against Travis Few. How's training been going for the fight?
It went great. I'm training up at the National Mixed Martial Arts. I got some incredible coaches. Sean Hammonds, Josh Shotman, Lance Patrick. I got some great training partners. They happen to actually have a fight. A couple of my training partners all have fights the same day I do in Nashville. They're fighting on an HFC card. One good buddy of mine, I was actually, he's fighting on the card. He's the main event. His name's John Salter. He was my main training partner through the event. But the camp, through the whole camp, the camp went great, man. I actually had another fight scheduled with Bellator, and the guy broke his collarbone, and I was in camp for like a month, and then I found out he broke his collarbone. And they're like, "Well, we're just going to go ahead and put you in the tournament." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And that was 8 weeks away. So I took like 2 days off to kind of heal and let my joints heal up. And I went right back in camp. So I've been in camp for like 11 weeks now or something. And so it went awesome. I'm in shape and ready to fight. It's going to be a good fight.
I was going to ask you about the inactivity because you haven't fought in over a year. It was that your opponent for Bellator got injured, and that's why you haven't fought. Also, were there any other offers from maybe other smaller shows, and, you know, Bellator could have, you know, said, "Hey, you know, go fight there until we get you a fight"? Anything like that come up?
Yeah, well, I had a few offers. The layoff was sort of self-imposed, actually. I had a loss. I was very disappointed in the last tournament. I fought Christian and Pumbu on Bellator 30, maybe 34th. I don't remember, but it was I think it was season 4. And I had a pretty disappointing loss. I was winning going into the third round, and I gasped in the third round. I didn't have enough time to get ready for the fight. I was severely out of shape. And so when I lost that fight, I was very mad with myself. I was very angry. And so I decided to take some time and try to become more of a master of my craft. You know, I wanted to become a better boxer and a better grappler and a better wrestler. And so I wasn't really pressuring or looking for a fight. I wasn't calling Bellator and asking for a fight or anything. If they came to me with one, obviously I would fight, but I wanted some time to get better. But I did have some smaller shows, and Bellator even said, Bellator told me, if something comes up, just you're going to have to get our approval before you fight with someone else. And it didn't bother me at all. I was like, okay. But nothing really came up. I didn't really want to fight. And then when I decided, okay, I'm ready let's get back at this, that's when they scheduled me a fight. My opponent got injured. And then they just said, all right, we're going to put you in the tournament. So another 2 months added to my layoff. But I went a little longer than I wanted, but at the major, all it did is give me an opportunity to get in better shape, get stronger, and become a better wrestler, grappler, and kickboxer. So it has been a long way off, but I don't anticipate it being a problem with nerves or anything like that. So the weight cut shouldn't be too bad.
So there's no fear of ring rust or anything like that?
No, I don't feel like it. My weight's really solid, and I did do a few things. I competed in a couple of grappling tournaments to stay sharp, and one of the things I did to try to not get that ring rust is I was on the mat every day and training and kickboxing and doing net work every day. It's not like I had to fight and I took a month or two off, and I had to get back into shape or anything like that. I just kept training, and I don't feel that right now. I may be singing a different tune Friday night. I may go, okay, there's the ring rust.
Right.
I'm doing now.
Right.
But right now I feel fine, and I'm only about 8 pounds out, so the weight cut shouldn't be an issue. And a whole day tomorrow, so.
A lot of people have Travis Few as the favorite to win this entire tournament, just due to the fact that he's beaten the champion Christian Mpoumbu. He's an experienced veteran in the sport. Do you feel like a guy who has nothing to lose going into this fight, or do you feel like a guy who has a lot to lose in this fight? Do you feel like?
Yeah, well, no, I have a lot that I'm fighting for, but I don't have a lot that I don't think I have a lot to lose. And what I mean by that is, any time I was to my position for a fight early in my career, I always filled in 2 factors. It was, what do I win if I win, and what do I lose if I lose? Whether or not I take the fight. And it was early in your career. It's really about money and building your record. But when I do that same exact little scenario with this fight, well, what do I win if I win? Well, I win some money, but I win, the second fight, which is I move on to the tournament. But what I'm really gaining for me is freedom. I have a little girl, I have a daughter, so it's going to free me up, give me the opportunity to spend more time with my daughter, and we're even taking custody of later on in the summer. So it's going to free me up to spend more time with my daughter. But what do I lose if I lose? Well, I don't really lose anything, because I'm still getting custody of my daughter later in the summer. I'm going to go out there and fight with that attitude, though, of I don't have anything to lose from this fight, because the whole point of the fight for me is to I'm fighting for that freedom, and I'm fighting for redemption, to show people, and the Bellator fans mainly, really why that they didn't get to see the real me fight in the last event. I had a lot of personal issues from my camps in my last fight, my last tournament, and I was like 5 weeks out. I was like 245 pounds or something like that, 240 something, and I was 2 weeks out. I was like 229. I'm at 214 right now, 213, something like that. So I feel a lot better, and I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I don't have a lot to lose, but I have a ton to gain. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right. So. Travis Few, what are your thoughts of him as an opponent?
Well, I've watched a couple of videos. As far as his abilities, I don't think he's real comfortable standing up. I think he kind of wants to take you down, and then he wants to beat you up, grind it out. I think that's what he is. I think he's a grinder. He's had a lot of later in his career, he's had a lot of fights go to, I think his last 3 all went to decision or something like that. And I think, he wants to take you down, beat you up, give up your back, get to choke, or something like that. I think that's his goal. I don't think he's real comfortable standing up, but as an opponent, I think it's a great opportunity. I've got a lot of respect for his career. He's beaten some very good fighters. He's got wins over Keith Jardine and Rico Rodriguez, a lot of high-level competition there, and I think he's had like 80 fights or something like that. So, very long career, but when he's in the cage across from me, those, I can't put too much focus on those things. I've got to try to expose his weaknesses. So for me, I'm going to try my best to turn this into a glorified kickboxing match. Defend the takedown and
you've proven throughout your career that you can finish the fight, whether it be standing or on the ground. Of your 10 wins, 5 TKOs or KOs, 5 submissions. Where are you most comfortable fighting at?
Well, my entire career, I've honestly made an active effort to try to be that guy that can kind of take it anywhere. Right when I was just getting started in mixed martial arts, I think I watched a show or something, an interview or something, had Randy Couture in it, and Couture was talking about the new fighter and how when the UFC first started, you had guys that were boxers that would come fight mixed martial arts. You'd have jiu-jitsu guys come fight mixed martial arts. Or you'd have an Aikido guy come fight an MMA event. Well, what he talked about as the sport evolved is it wasn't a boxer coming to fight. What happened was these boxers were learning how to wrestle, or these wrestlers were learning how to box and do submissions. And so it evolved a new kind of fighter, and that was a fighter that whether you were standing in kickboxing, or if you were wrestling, or if he was on his back, he was dangerous. He could submit you, he could take you down, he could knock you out. And that's what I've been trying to be. I have slowly kind of learned that every person individually has a kind of a natural thing that they lean toward. So if you ask me what I'm more comfortable, I think I'm more comfortable grappling, but I absolutely have been lucky enough to train with the kind of people and have the kind of camps that if I'm in a situation that I have to turn into a kickboxing match, I can do that. I feel fine doing that. Probably, but I'm definitely more comfortable grappling. I think it's less risk because standing, a guy could get lucky and just fling a punch out there. Next thing you know, you're waking up. You could be a much better kickboxer than him, but he can kind of there's that puncher's chance, But in grappling and in jiu-jitsu, if you're better, then you're better. There's not really a lot of chance there. So from a fighter's perspective, I think jiu-jitsu and wrestling is a better way. But I feel like I can do it all, man. I hope I can.
Yeah. Chris, this is a very interesting fight because you've lost to the champion, Christian Mpoumbu. I'm sure you want that loss back. Travis, he's beaten Christian Mpoumbu, but he didn't get the belt, so he's, working his way to try to get that belt. What's more important to you? Winning this entire tournament and winning the title, or getting another chance at Christian Mpoumbu?
Yeah. I think, both are very important to me. But, I have to set, I have a long-term goal and a short-term goal. I have to reach each of the short-term goals to get to the long-term goal. The long-term goal definitely is to get that rematch. I'm not happy with going into the third round with Mpoumbu. I was up 2 rounds to nothing. I gassed in that third round, and he finished the fight. Not trying to make excuses, but, I showed up out of shape. Had to learn from it, and try to come back to this fight in shape. It's definitely, like tonight, right now, my biggest goal is to beat Travis Hughes.
Right.
I'm not really thinking about Mpoumbu, but when you ask that question, I give it pause and think about it. Yeah, that's definitely a very big goal. I want the rematch. Even if Mpoumbu has, I thought to myself, what if he gets deep before I get to rematch him? And I thought to myself, I don't care. I still want to rematch him.
Right.
The belt's great. The belt's awesome. If when I win the belt out of it, that's awesome. That's just a benefit. But I want my rematch because I can beat him. Should have beat him. I know I can beat him.
Well, that's why I asked the question about the rematch, because obviously if you win this entire tournament, you're going to get a rematch and a shot at the title. That's kind of what I meant when I was asking the question about this fight, Friday night, Bellator 71. How does the fight end?
I think it ends, I've played this out in my mind a lot, and I think it can end a lot of ways. I think he could be pressuring for a takedown, and it may be 30 seconds to go in the round. And I go, you know what, I'm going to take my shot at a submission. And I jump on a Kimura and try to Kimura. And I can see it ending that way. But if I have my way, it's going to end in, I think the way the fight goes is I come out, I piece him up a little bit, he starts pressuring hard for the takedown. I'll probably spend most of the first round defending a takedown. Or if he does get the takedown, I'll be getting up a lot, and then come out the second round, and when that gas tank starts fading on him, I'm going to start piecing him up. that'd be my prediction. Catching TKO second or third round.
Last question. Do you feel that whoever has the bigger gas tank in this fight is going to win? Because you said when you fought Impumbu, you kind of gassed a little. It was clear in the third round when he fought Impumbu, he had gassed. Is that going to be the main factor in the fight? Who is fresh going?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a big factor. I think skill-wise, I think it's pretty close between me and Chris. I mean, me and Travis. I think he may be the better wrestler. Which I haven't actually ever heard any of his actual wrestling accolades, but I have heard that he's a great wrestler, a very good wrestler. And I think he's a big guy. And being a lot of people see big, well, I see bad cardio. A lot of people say he's huge, well, I see that he's slow. You know,
right?
So I think the issue is going to be one of the big factors is going to be who lasts the longest, who's got the gas tank there. So, I agree.
Chris, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you would like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Absolutely. To the fans, just guys, continue to support the sport. Tune in and watch Bellator, support this organization, and then support the world of mixed martial arts, and do some local support, man. There's a lot of guys putting on events in local towns, and it doesn't do anything but better the sport. You see guys in the UFC and guys in Bellator, the way they get better, the way that they improve is fighting on those small shows. Well, if those small shows don't do well, they're not going to continue to be around. So we need that local support. I do want to thank Headshot. I want to thank some of my sponsors, Headshot, Stand-Up Fighter, and I want to thank Nashville Mixed Martial Arts, Sean Hampton, Josh Ottman, all my training partners, Chris Bornheiser, John Salter, everybody at Nashville Mixed Martial Arts, Kenny Dagenhart, everyone that helped me get ready for this fight. And then I also want to thank my sister and my entire family being so supportive, and my fiance for being an awesome fiance.
Chris, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck this Friday at Bellator 71 against Travis Few.